must realize you are doomed.
Welcome to another segment of The Scoundrels. I'm Dave. With me on the panel is my man Rich.
Yep.
We got Jared here.
What's up?
And of course, we got Mr. Vic.
Booyah.
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 All right, fellas, this segment we're going to talk about The Falcon and the Winter Soldier spoiler discussion, episode 1 and episode 2. Before we get started, people out there, please, thank you for coming in and having the Scoundrels part of your daily lives. Go ahead and leave your comments down below. Please hit that like button if you like it, and subscribe as always. All right, fellas, let's begin. So we got The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, episode 1, and opening scene. Who wants to go first? Did everybody like the opening scene?
I
Rich,
loved it.
How about you?
Yeah,
You
I
loved
loved it. Yeah, I love it started out with action. I'm so glad that it didn't start out with, a bunch of discussions of, how everything went down or how it led up to this point. But I love the fight scene. And I got to ask Vic a question. I know it's going to mess up your whole intro, but
GSP.
Yes. How'd
Yeah.
you feel about his
Return.
his return? How'd you feel about it?
I thought it was nice. I thought it linked it back to what was it, Winter Soldier?
Yeah.
In the second movie, right? That's where he was. Yeah, like I thought it linked it back to that. And I'm surprised he's still running around. But
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Yeah,
cool.
I thought it was nice.
I enjoy him getting some acting roles, so that's great.
Yeah.
Jerry, what did you think about?
What'd
What you think about the opening scene? What do you think
Yeah,
about?
I thought it was. I mean, I kind of like the like opening scene where you hear like old Cap talking and stuff like over
Okay.
Sam's, he's like getting ready. But yeah, I mean it was like a blockbuster movie scale of action and stuff. And I thought it was like surprisingly good looking, like compared to even like a WandaVision. It just seemed like they just like nailed the whole like cinematic look of it.
Mm-hmm. Vic, how'd you feel about that opening scene?
I thought it was fine. I thought it was more like they were like kind of just showcasing how good Falcon is at like using his like wingsuit. I don't remember him having so many scenes like that where, they give him like obstacles like mountains and threading the needle type action scenes like that where he's going through a helicopter to kick somebody or grab somebody.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like he seemed very like in tune with that thing, more so than I've seen in any of the movies, I think.
Yeah, especially when he's like blocking the bullets in the
airplane.
It just like automatically blocks them. I thought that was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I was pretty hyped up, and so when this came out, and I'm an action guy. I love action. I'm straight up an action guy, so I loved it. Them going straight to the action scene. I didn't realize Sam knew Taekwondo though. There was some stuff he was like, when did he get these moves? It was stuff without the wing. He was inside the plane and doing some Taekwondo. I'm just like, what the hell? When did he learn this?
Yeah.
So I mean, that I was just like, okay, but the action scenes were pretty good. And then we get actually some character development in both where Bucky is and where Sam is. Anything stood out to you in that, Vic, as far as the character development? And let's pick Bucky right now. Anything that stood out to you?
Yeah, I can't like this. I guess this would have been really weird if they had it in the big movies. That's why it's kind of like in the smaller screen. But I like this.
Mm-hmm.
I like that he's going through like this like therapy thing. Like I've been going to therapy for like almost a year now, so it was really funny and fun to like watch how horrible that therapist was to him. But he is like a superhero, and he was like mind controlled and stuff. It's a lot deeper than anything. So I really like where he's at. And as for Sam, I didn't think his background and everything was great. I just liked more like his acting and like his chemistry with his sister.
Yeah.
And, like all that. Like it felt like real, like a real siblings like arguing with each other and stuff like that. So it was strange. Like I'm not like super bored. I just really like the acting, like when it comes to Sam
Oh,
stuff.
okay.
And I like more the, what Bucky's going through because I kind of identify with it. So that was cool.
Jared, how about you? What was your reaction to the character development between the two?
Yeah, I mean, like you only see Bucky like in the movies. He's always fighting someone, shooting somebody. So it's kind of cool to kind of like slow down and like see him kind of just kind of like break him down like as a character. And then Sam, I don't really. I feel like superheroes wouldn't be broke ever. Like they
Yeah,
would just
that's what I was
always
Yeah.
have they
thinking.
would always have like some kind of funding or even Kickstarter or anything like that. So like the fact that him and his sister are kind of struggling, that I didn't really
Yeah.
get that. But
Mhm.
I mean, I'm interested to see where they go with it though.
Hmm.
Mhm. You, Rich, how do you feel about the character development?
I love the Bucky stuff because you didn't. It really shined a light on the stuff that he still deals with, being the Winter Soldier, and all the stuff that he's done whenever he was under mind control with Hydra. Um, just him, just the scene with the old man. I didn't expect it.
Mm.
Whenever he's talking to that girl in the bar and she's explaining, you know, you can be a widow. They have a name for if you're a widow, or they have a name for this, but they don't have one for if you lost a child. And he just gets up and runs away or walks away, and he goes to his door, and that's when you see that it was the guy that he killed, and he still lives with that, trying to make an amends for it. But it's kind of hard to make an amends for that with
Yeah.
taking the
Mhm.
guy's son, and you see how much he cared for his son and everything.
Rich, were you shocked by that reveal? Because I for some reason I thought that it was like this old guy that he knew back in the day, and because he's kind of
Yeah,
like,
I was shocked. I was shocked, but yeah, I was shocked by the reveal.
yeah,
Mhm.
I was shocked by it too. Like,
Yeah.
but I don't know why. Like some of my friends were saying, no, I completely put it together immediately. I didn't really feel anything about that. And I was like, what?
Yeah,
Okay,
I just saw it
huh?
like he was just a neighbor at first, because
Yeah,
even like they were like goofing around whenever that one random guy was putting his trash into the old man's trash can,
yeah,
and he
Yeah.
was getting on to him about that stuff, and then him saying, I'll take you out for lunch, it'll be on me. Okay, I'll go.
yeah,
I just thought it was like a little, just a little friendship, like neighborly friendship, and then when that happened, I was like, oh, okay.
yeah.
So, he's trying to make it or amends, or, do something for the old man. But and then with like what Jerry was saying with Sam, I did not expect him to be struggling for money, like at all. Even whenever they went to the
Mhm.
bank and they're like, don't you guys have like some kind of fund or something? He's like, no, we live off of,
Goodwill or
yeah,
something.
goodwill and charity like this. And I was like, it was just, maybe I'm just so used to seeing Tony Stark
Iron
driving
Man. Yeah.
around in his,
Yeah,
BMWs and everything.
you
It's
would
like,
think Stark Industries would have helped him out,
yeah,
at least if it wasn't
Yeah.
the government helping him.
I mean,
You would
you
think
could
yeah,
Stark Industries would have.
yeah, just like start like a YouTube channel of you flying around or something. That's like all
no,
you
that'd be
need is
it.
just like fund your whole life.
Yeah, it's just I don't know, but I love the character development for both of them. More Bucky than Sam, but yeah, it was good.
That's the thing though. They did say that the reason they were like struggling for money was because he was gone in the blip. So
Yeah,
there was
Okay.
that. Like he couldn't upload YouTube because he was invisible.
But I feel like
Yeah.
there's just like always funds there though. You would
For
think.
sure. Yeah, for sure.
I guess stimulus
But
checks
yeah.
don't exist in the MCU.
Stimmies,
No
because stimmies
stimmies.
were gone in the blip too.
Back to what Vic was saying, I was actually not caught off by surprise, but I was surprised that the reason why his name is Mr. Nukajima was the old man's name. I was
Oh,
surprised that they tied him into that, to his vision or whatever his dream that he had. And I was caught off a little bit off that, because at first, when I first saw Mr. Nukajima, I'm like, where the hell did he meet this guy from? Because I'm like, he doesn't really talk to anybody. So that caught me off guard. Like, okay, so they're saying the reason why he's talking to him is because of his past, of what he did. And actually, when they showed that, uh, I was like, yes, the Winter Soldier. I love the Winter Soldier,
Yeah.
not Bucky, Winter Soldier. And I was like, well, the dude's a bad guy. Yeah, I liked him when he was a bad guy. I like that. And call that cold heartedness, but I like that Winter Soldier. So I'm like, oh man, I love that. Even though it's just a minute, thing in there, and it's fine,
Yeah.
but I loved it. That's what I really liked about it. And but now he's Bucky. Jared, did that caught you off by surprise in a little bit, or did you kind of put it together right away that
I
Mr.
didn't.
Nukojima was there for a reason?
No, I didn't really put that together. I think I watched like YouTube video that kind of made like connections. I mean, I'm kind of like half in the show just like for like the action and just like the main story to move it along.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
like Marvel's always good at just like hiding little like nuggets everywhere. So um I didn't think that there would really be like too much of that with this show, so I wasn't really like looking for it, but I will now though.
Mhm. So I know there's a couple people out there too have said that it's a little bit of a slow burn this first episode. Do you guys feel that in any way that it was a slow burn for you guys?
Uh,
Was it maybe too hyped up because we're gonna be like they showed all this action in the previews and you're expecting it right away?
I
Perhaps.
felt like the first episode was a good balance of action and character
Okay.
development, and just talking about where they are at this point in their lives. So I felt like the first episode, I didn't think it was slow moving. For me, it wasn't. I felt like
Mhm.
it was a perfect balance for me.
How about you, Vic?
Yeah, I thought it was perfect too. I like the way they like slowly like told you or like caught you up how everybody was doing. Like I like how the therapist like tells Bucky, "Oh, you're ignoring Sam, like it means they have like some sort of contact."
Yeah.
So I like that. I like how, he's kind of doing his own struggle, or uh he's he's struggling with his own thing and Sam's struggling with his own thing. And you could kind of tell how they're gonna kind of help each other out of the fire. I can kind of see it happening.
Mhm.
But then there's that other storyline about how like they're gonna replace the symbol of Iron Man, of Captain America. And the most interesting part was I thought that they said that like a lot of people liked the way it was during the blip, because like say our current president would blip away and then you put in another leader, and then we have like a whole whatever months or years of that leader, and then the previous leader comes back and is like, where's my power or whatever, like it would be really weird, like to
Yeah.
try to
Mhm.
uh coordinate all that backwards, like
Yeah.
policies and all that stuff. So I never even
Yeah.
thought about stuff like that when everything happened, because it just seemed like a very comic book thingy, purple guy from space snaps his fingers and everyone goes away. So I
Yeah.
was like, okay, now we're getting down to like the real humans. Kind of like whenever you're watching like Game of Thrones and you see like all like the kingdoms fighting,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and you see like the massive amounts of CG humans, but you don't really care about those guys. You just care what happens to the main characters. But
Yeah.
then they throw you like an episode where it's just about like, Hot Pie or whatever that kid's name is, and he gets murdered, and you're just
Yeah.
like, oh crap. Real civilians die here, there's real casualties, there's real consequences and stuff. So
Yeah.
I thought the first episode was absolutely fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
How'd you feel, Jared? Did you mind a slow burn, or did it work for you?
Yeah, like I wouldn't really say it was like a slow burn. They just have like the big action sequence to get you in, and then they just kind of set up everything. Like it's set up the
Mhm.
characters, like where's everybody at, what's everyone's plan and stuff. And
Yeah.
then they introduce the vigilantes or like whatever they are, the little
Yeah.
group of people that are trying
Mhm.
to do like whatever they're like trying to do. And but I thought it worked. Like I wasn't really bored. Like I was like kind of worried about like an hour long action show, but
Yeah.
I wasn't really like bored by it or anything.
Okay. So let's talk about that group that came into play. There was some action happening. There was some a robbery happening, and then boom, this guy lands on his feet, and right away, when I see him attack, super kick some person on a random rode over there, I'm like, oh, this has got to be a super soldier. Right away that clicked in my head. And so basically, that's what we kind of figured, that this is going to be about the super soldiers, coming out as the antagonist, or as quote unquote the villain that's out there. We didn't get Zemo yet, so did you guys mind the whole group thing? Did that work for you for the first episode, as far as this cult, this gang here? Did that work for you at all?
It got me interested, because like you said, whenever you just see their fighting style and their strength, that's what I thought too, was super soldier. But yeah, it gets you interested in seeing what they were all about. So that's why I was saying, like, this first episode is just built up so nicely, like automatic action, some build up, and then they introduce an antagonist. So I like that.
Yeah, it was more
Yeah,
like.
I mean,
Go ahead.
go ahead.
Oh,
No, go
I was more interested in the that little third string character that they were kind of introducing, like from the get-go, and then he's like tracking down this potential terrorist group. I'm not sure. I mean, didn't Falcon just save him, and now he's going like back into
It's like
a super dangerous territory, and then he gets flipped and stepped on. Like, come on, dude. Like,
get out of the way.
yeah, like, what are you doing? But yeah, I was more interested. I saw that plot more of like kind of developing him, because I felt like maybe they were giving him too many lines, too many scenes, like pressing Falcon, like wanting to know more about Captain America.
Yeah.
Or like, like I said, him doing his own investigation. He looks like the guy that's going to reveal, all that stuff to the main characters, and then maybe become a main character himself later.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm like curious about how they're getting their like superhuman strength and stuff. I feel like that's my only like a question for them. I mean, I guess like are they like definitely bad? Because I think I haven't seen this yet, but episode 2, it seems like maybe they're not really that bad. So I don't really know what to think about them yet.
So we get a little surprise appearance from, I don't know if it was a surprise appearance, but we get a little appearance from John Cheadle. I forget what his name is, his character's name is, but it is War Machine. What are the chances you guys believe in he's going to suit up, and we're going to see him suit up in the further future episodes?
Well, the fact that they, introduced him and they had him in the show, I say it's a pretty strong chance that they have some fight scenes with him in it. But yeah, I was excited to see him too. Just another hero, or another face that we're used to seeing to be thrown into the show, because you know how it ended, the first episode with the new Captain America or whatever. But it was nice to see just a face that we're used to seeing, and see if. But I think that they will add some stuff in for him.
Yeah, they use his scene to guide you through that kind of like memory lane of like the museum. I thought that was really awesome. Like, just showing you like the motorcycle, the old shield, reminds you of like the first Avenger movie.
Yeah,
I like all those Captain America movies, so it was really cool to just see him. And it kind of like I don't know, it like you said, it kind of like it's great to see a familiar face. Like, I know that Falcon and Winter Soldier are like familiar faces, but Don Cheadle like kind of like exudes like a more veteran actor, because these guys are kind of like new guys. Don Cheadle's been around for forever, so it was cool to not only see him back on like small screen, but also like you kind of get like this, I don't know, seniority.
Yeah,
feeling
definitely.
from him. Yeah. So
how about you, Jared?
It's a Marvel, so like they're gonna have cards of their like sleeves about people showing up, maybe like joining like a battle eventually. I thought it was something that was really cool. When they're walking through that Captain America museum, there's like a bunch of words like on plaques and stuff, and someone like blew those up, and they're just like telling all of Steve Rogers' life. Like it's like actual written stuff. Like it's like the backstory of Captain America 1 and 2 and 3 and all that. So there's so much stuff hidden in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I could see War Machine like getting like into his suit and joining him, maybe like a big surprise. I feel like every single show is going to try to have their like Luke Skywalker moment.
Mm-hmm.
So like it wouldn't surprise me if there's something for that like down the road.
Yeah.
Speaking about that, I'll go to you, Rich. Cameos. What do you think is going to be a good cameo? Are you expecting a good cameo in this series, if there's any? Do you predict there's going to be a good cameo, Rich?
I'm trying to think of like the core group when you think about Captain America. They already got both of his best friends in it. So when you think of someone that can join him, honestly, War Machine was the one that I was thinking of, because I can't think of anybody else that they can just throw in there. I don't know about
Red Skull.
Yeah, Red
Skull.
Skull. Yeah, War Machine was the one that I thought they would have thrown, and they threw him in instantly.
Immediately.
So yeah.
How about you, Vic? Other than War Machine, because they already it looks like they're gonna have them, I think. But do you expect any cameos whatsoever from another Marvel
If I
character?
had to guess, they would maybe do it in like a dream sequence. I could see maybe a Black Widow, or like I don't know, like something to because the Black Widow show is around the corner. I don't know if they would want to do that just to set it up or something like that. That'd be cool.
How about you, Jared?
I mean, just like selfishly, I just want to see like Scientist Hulk. But I mean, he probably has no reason to show up. But if there was a character that I wanted, it would just be Scientist Hulk. Just because I thought he was just like so funny in game, and maybe just some kind of like dynamic thing there. But yeah, it's probably just gonna be like War Machine or something like that.
Okay. Yeah, definitely probably gonna be War Machine. But back to Vic, what you were saying about Black Widow, it makes me think of maybe Nighthawk might have an appearance. Who knows? And that leads into his series maybe, and that's me thinking, because I know his series is in development as well. So that's about the cameos. Another question is, we get there towards the ending, right? So Sam gives back the shield to the museum or whatever. So just to be a prop, he says he doesn't feel like it's not his. It should be just a symbol for everyone, and it should be in a museum for everyone, inspiration. So then we find out at the end, and going back to our preview of this, Vic was saying about Captain America, like they wouldn't have a minority as Captain America, and even I was like raising my eyebrows at that. But hey, they came back right away at the end, and they got a new Captain America, and it's like, really, how did you feel? I'll ask back right now. How did you feel about that at the ending when they introduced the new Captain America?
I think this episode really sold me on the fact that Falcon could be that. Because of how his story is going, and not only that, but it makes sense. It just makes sense for his character to gain it by the end of it. He knew kind of what Steve Rogers, the man, valued. It wasn't like a government thing, because remember, Steve Rogers and Captain America, they cut themselves off from the whole government thing when the whole Sokovia thing went down and they had the split with Iron Man. Iron Man was more like, we got to have, this or whatever.
Have order, a little bit, restrictions, yeah.
And Steve Rogers knew that that's not always the best thing, because it gets corrupted, like the way S.H.I.E.L.D. got corrupted, and they wanted to, just laser brain everybody that had an IQ above whatever, it makes sense now to me. It can't, I don't, I can see now, how it's kind of getting propped up between Falcon and Winter Soldier, right? But I just like it more. for Falcon because of like how he's like on the ground, like going through in America. You know what I mean? Does that make
Yeah, I
sense?
hear you.
Like Bucky, yes, he has that discipline from like old style military America, but he got like co-opted and brainwashed and all this stuff, you know? Like I guess they're both sympathetic. I'm sympathetic to both of them, and I wish the best for both of them. But the show really sold it to me because of how they took it the way I was taking it. Like it's not just like you can't just replace Captain America. You can't replace that, you know. And even Sam says it, you know. It just feels like it's somebody else's because it is. But like I said, the show is selling me on this idea that it can be transferred, that the title can be transferred. So I'm as I felt it a little bit in the first episode. I'm hoping by the end of it, I'll be really on board as to seeing it being transferred and not like, you know, not a replacement, but a transferring of the ideology. Yeah.
Jared, what was your reaction when you saw them introducing the new Captain America?
I think like after like during like Endgame, it was just like I was like, really? But I think that's like the point of this series is to give you his backstory so you can care about that character more, because he's always has been like a side character like in the movies. He's never like someone that you would think would be Captain America. But I think this like after the show ends, you'll be like on the same page and you can accept that. Yeah, I mean, because like I have like 6 hours of backstory of this guy now. He can be Captain America, sure.
Rich, what was your reaction to the Captain America that they reintroduced at the very end of this episode?
It was shocking because like in the very beginning, whenever he did give up his shield, the guy says, you know, you did the right thing and donating it and all that stuff. And Bucky was 100% against it, saying, you know, Captain America gave it to you for a reason, and you just gave it up. And just to see them it seemed like they were gonna lock it away, keep it, you know, well, not lock it away, but you know, put it on display and never touch it again. And here at the very end, they give it away. So yeah, it was a little shocking seeing that.
That dude's got like the most like punchable face I've ever seen too.
Yeah, he does.
Oh God,
face that mask.
He does. Yeah,
his face, man.
But yeah, so that was just a little review of episode 1 of Falcon Winter Soldier. I enjoyed it. It was it wasn't a soul burn. It was just character development, you know. It's the first episode. I was expecting, you know, character development, and I got that from both Bucky and Sam. The ending was kind of took me off because I'm like, well, should I expect anything less, you know, from the government or from an agency? So, you know, that was really interesting. And then as soon as that happened, I thought about Vic right away when he made those comments. I thought about Vic, like, son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. And so I'm like,
as in they were right or I mean, they were wrong to do that?
You were kind of right that you were saying how, you know, they wouldn't let, you know, because I believe when we were doing the preview, I asked, were they grooming, you know, one of these guys to carry the shield? And you were saying, I just can't see the government or, you know, or their agency allowing a minority.
Strange. Yeah, it's just strange. Like I said,
how you were,
they're stuck in the old ways. And even the show kind of set it up, you know, like it's a power struggle right now because of what happened with the blip.
Yeah.
But like I said, the show is really like, I'm glad they took it into consideration that it's not just a thing to replace. Like you can't just replace Captain America or Steve Rogers. Like you have to embody like his spirit, honestly, and walk it. And I think right now Falcon's doing that for me. I like I said, I liked his down to earth struggle. I thought it was like really weird, you know, something I haven't seen before. They don't focus on like loans from the bank, you know.
Yeah.
All right, fellas. Well, that's gonna be it for episode 1. Leave your comments down below, like it, hit the like button, and please subscribe. All right, we're gonna go on to the next segment, which is episode 2 of The Falcon and Winter Soldier. So here we are. We got Marvel's version of Riggs and Murtaugh coming in, and we got some more action in here. So I'll go to you, Rich. What did you think of this episode? What was the positives you got out of this episode? Did you like it?
Now when you talked about a slow burn, I felt like this episode was a slow burn for me.
Okay.
It was a lot of like, brotherly joking around, messing with each other and like little jokes. You're in my way, get out of my way. I gotta do this. It was a
Buddy
lot.
cop.
Yeah.
It was
yeah.
a lot of that. No,
Yeah,
you're
like buddy
absolutely
cop.
right. There
Yeah,
was
there you
too
go.
much of that.
A lot. And
Yeah.
even the scene where they're in therapy together, and Jared has it in his background right now, where they're like,
Yeah.
get close, and they're scooting in. Man, you're too close, man. You're too close. It's
You're
just,
too close, man. You're too close.
it's just, I don't know. It is the highlight of that episode was honestly the end, where they finally introduce the villain. But
Oh, okay.
yeah.
How about you, Jared? What was the positive? What was your reaction to this episode? Was it positive? Was it a slow burn, like Rich said?
I mean, kind of like the first two. I'm just kind of watching it just to like get through it really.
Mhm.
It's like an okay show, but I'm like into the more weird WandaVision Loki type of thing. But I thought the little football like halftime show like pep rally thing for the new cap was kind of cool, because that's like similar to what like Steve Rogers was like doing like back in the day and stuff. This is obviously just like some fake version of it. But and then there's a pretty cool action sequence like on the top of the 18-wheeler when they're fighting stuff, and then this new Captain America shows up and he gets his ass kicked too.
Yeah.
So-
It's a little bizarre though.
Yeah. They bring in the new Captain America a little bit in this episode as well. We get to see him, and they get a little bit of a I don't know if it's called a little backstory, but they just basically said he was in the forces and had a couple medals, I guess, and then the reason why they chose him to carry the shield and everything, and then he was getting interviewed and everything. I'll go to you, Vic. Did you like the new uniform, the Captain America uniform he was having?
I didn't watch this episode, but I saw it briefly at the ending of the first one, and it just kind of looks like the first event. Like, am I wrong about that? Like, kind of reminds me of the first Avenger one.
Yeah,
a little bit
similar. Yeah,
that's like where they're going with it, I think.
Okay, yeah, and his face just like scrunchied. It just like scrunchied into.
It looks like he already got uppercut and shit. But
that's Kurt Russell's son.
Is it really?
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Wyatt Russell or something like that.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, I didn't know that.
So maybe he's a celestial, just like his dad.
Maybe it was the lighting, but he just didn't look good in that costume. I didn't appreciate somebody turning around and just wearing that immediately.
Yeah.
Like, even if Sam did it immediately, it would be weird, you know. It was too soon. It was too soon. I don't know. Give people time to breathe.
Yeah.
So we see Sam and Bucky get together. We find out that Bucky was a little upset that Sam handed him the shield, and even though that little therapy session was just a little too much with the kitty shit, with going back and forth, doing a staring contest, I'm like, okay, this is a little too much. But what I did like about it was when Bucky was confronting Sam, like, he was saying that, Steve was wrong. He felt like Steve was wrong about him if he was wrong about Sam. You know what I'm saying? Because Sam gave him the shield, and he's like, well, why did you do that when Steve said you were it? You were it was nobody else's name. He wanted you. He believed in you. And then he's saying that because he handed in and making Steve wrong, that it's making him believe that what Steve said about him as Bucky is wrong also. So,
Yeah.
you know, you do get that little deep connection on why Bucky's so upset that Sam turned it in.
Yeah.
I did like that part. The other thing was, of course, we got the little action they were doing with the Red Wing. Red Wing, you know, got destroyed over there. And then, did you like how Captain America and the new Cap and his little sidekick came down on that helicopter? How about you, Jared? Did you like that scene at all?
I mean, I thought it was like kind of cool because I thought that maybe he was like a super soldier or something, but then he was just like easily taken care of.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like a cool action scene, but you know.
Yeah. How about you, Rich? I think he was juicing a little bit because he was taking some hits and he was throwing that shield pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Who
no,
can
he's
throw a shield?
yeah.
Yeah, he's juicing a little bit. I don't know if he's on megaroids, but he's juicing for sure because he got kicked off the trailer and landed on a car windshield and kind of walked away pretty
Yeah. Walked away off of that.
scratch free. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I have a feeling he's juicing a little bit. Yeah, you might not be fully there, but you know he did his little thing. He did some moves on there.
50% juice.
Yeah, he's doing something. And how did you feel about that scene, Rich?
It was nice because in the very beginning, whenever they were showing Captain America and or the new Captain America and his partner, I didn't know whenever they were like in the locker room, I didn't know that was his like his fighting partner. I thought that was just like a friend that walked in and
Yeah,
Yeah, me too.
and talked to him. And then whenever they came out the helicopter, you're like, oh, okay, so he's like, it's basically Captain America and Falcon, basically. It's just the new duo.
Yeah.
Cute.
So yeah, but this, I mean, the fighting scene was nice. You know, the fighting scenes so far, that's what's keeping me interested. And obviously, you know, with the Bucky stuff, you want to see what ends up happening to him with all the stuff that he's going through mentally, dealing with the past that he had. But yeah, I like the fighting scene.
So I mean, other than that, we get some more interaction with Bucky and Sam, but not a whole bunch of stuff really happened in this episode. We do at the final end see Bucky and Sam walking down and say, "Hey, well, you know what? Let me piggyback on that. We do see a little bit of the rebels, the terrorists. You do kind of see that they're going on a plane and they're trying to get other stuff aboard, and then right away you hear this one guy say they're coming, they're on their way. I'm like, okay, so you don't know who this is. This could be Hydra, this could be whoever, a new organization, Sword, coming down and trying to stop them. And one of the guys, you know, say, go, I'll go stop them, you know, I'll create a diversion. And he gets taken out, and they're actually getting refuge from other people as like they're being heroes, being praised for what they're doing. How did you feel about that, Jared? Do you feel like, oh, okay, they're kind of like rebels and they actually got some good motives to maybe what they're doing?
Yeah, like they seem a little like Robin Hoodish, maybe, sorta.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Um,
Yeah.
But I'm still like not really sure like what they're doing, honestly. I think it just kind of got like wait and see.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like they didn't
Rich? Do you
give
feel
us.
like?
Yeah, I felt like they didn't give us too much information, but it is kind of like, you know, maybe they aren't 100% bad. You know, they're doing some good. That's kind of stuff you know, obviously they're gonna get to it in the newer episodes, but not a lot of information yet to tell. Basically, base your decision on with, you know, the information they've given you so far. But
Well,
it doesn't seem like they're all the way bad.
think about how Captain America in Civil War kind of like led his group, you know, away from the government rule, and he was just like, we're just gonna help pockets of people wherever we can.
Yeah.
You know, they're like and they had what's her name? I want to call her Scarlet Witch, but she wasn't Scarlet Witch yet. They had Wanda,
Yeah.
you know, with them, And they were blowing stuff up. They were causing collateral damage too. You know,
Yeah.
like one person from afar could still call them like terrorists. You know, depending on
That's
the
true.
amount of destruction they did. So it's all up to like perception of like, you know, what is a terrorist, what is a freedom fighter kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it makes sense. I'm excited to see more of that storyline.
So, Rich, do you feel like that those SUVs and stuff, where we're chasing them, could be like the new Hydra, perhaps? Or do you have any theories? You know, just speculating. Could be any
You talking about the
significance
the
going
trucks
forward?
the trucks they fought on top of?
No. Coming to stop them going on the plane. The
Yeah, they're like
agency
loading
that
the
was
plane up.
falling.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm not sure if that's gonna be like a new Hydra, you know, group. Not like I said, there's not too much information. It's like I think next episode we're gonna get a lot more about what they're actually up to and what they're doing.
Jared, you have any little theories? Maybe, perhaps, could be.
Yeah, because I mean, if these people loading up the plane are like to the audience supposed to be bad right now, then are the people coming to stop them good, or is it bad people trying to stop semi bad people? Like I'm not really sure either.
Yeah, it's hard.
Okay, so then we're going to go into the end. We got Bucky and Sam, and it said, "Oh, you know, how can we find these people?" And they said, "Well, we got to go talk to him." And they said, "Oh, finally, you find out who they're talking about." At the end, they show you like a Arkham Asylum type deal,
Yeah.
and it's basically they're going to say they're going to go talk to Hannibal, Zemo, because they make it look like it's freaking Hannibal. They're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, he's in this tight knit thing." They're both Clarice, and they're gonna ask him for their advice about how these super soldiers are. So they're making him look like he's Hannibal Lecter right now. So how did you feel about them bringing up Zemo, Jared? How do you feel them bringing up Zemo at the end like this?
It was like about time to see him. I mean, because like everyone knows that he's like a big character like in the show. So it's like good that like probably like going forward we're gonna have him like in the show.
Yeah. I was definitely relieved that they finally showed him, because you know, the story for me had to start picking up. And I know it's only been 2 episodes, and like the first one they did build up a lot, but I'm hoping it's gonna be like WandaVision for me. The first 2 episodes I was like, and then the third one, you know, it started picking up and taking off. So now that they introduce him, I'm hoping that you know, it starts getting going a little faster.
Well,
Plus I love the actor.
Yeah. Oh, Daniel Rutherall or something, I think his name is. Yeah. It has to pick up because it's only 6 episodes, if I'm not mistaken. So it's 2 are already down the book. So we only got 4 more left. So
there's
I think things.
There's a pretty big part. Like probably like my favorite part of the episode is when they like find that old super soldier that was just kind of hidden because he was black.
Oh, that's right. Isaiah was his name.
Yeah. So like they were like afraid that if he were to come out as like a super soldier, he would just be like more of a threat because he's like not white, and this was back in like what the 50s or 60s or whatever, 40s maybe.
Yeah.
And he had like a really like powerful scene. He like throws that thing through the wall. I was like, oh my god, like what's it was.
See, I like stuff like that. That makes sense to me.
You're right. You're totally right about that. It was awesome, that whole scene, even when they first got there. And I'm so glad Marvel and Disney did not shy away from this.
Yeah, that's on
kind of piggybacking what Vic was saying. Soon as Falcon and Winter Soldier were walking down the neighborhood, you know, the little kid said, "Oh, it's the Black Falcon."
Yeah.
He's like, "I'm not the Black Falcon. I'm just Falcon." And he's like, "No, my dad says you're the Black Falcon." He's like, "No." It says, "Oh," he's like, "And you're just what? You're a black kid?"
Yeah.
"No, I'm a kid." Well, there you go. I'm glad they didn't shy away from this, because they easily could have. And I think it's so great that they're, you know, showing light to this here. And same thing with Jared was saying with Isaiah, the old super soldier, Bucky, you know, was talking to him, and he was like, just get out. I was supposed to be, I was the first, one of the first super soldiers, but they treated me differently than
Yeah,
anybody
they put
else.
him in jail, right?
Yeah, he had to serve time and everything.
Yeah,
Put him in
crazy.
jail, and
He
did a lot
said,
of,
I think he said 40 years or 30 years he was in jail.
I think it was 30 years.
Yeah, just for because I think they even asked him, about him coming out as a super soldier or whatever, and he even said, I did, and all I did was get put in jail or whatever for 30 years. It's pretty sad, like, seeing how two different people got, treated whenever they had the same exact type of powers. So he basically had to go into hiding even after he got out of jail. He didn't want to come out or anything and let people know.
right.
Yeah, and he was like super hostile towards like Bucky, even like being there, because he's just like, leave me alone, like don't even like bring light to me at all.
Jared, what did you think about that? The next, kind of like the next scene right after they're done visiting Isaiah, and the cops coming out. What did you think about that scene?
Yeah, I was
with
like,
Falcon and with Sam and Bucky.
Yeah, like they were just so ready to like arrest Sam, and then like Bucky had to tell him, I was like, do you know like who this is? And then the like, of course, it's just like the whole like celebrity of it, like, oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
And then they end up arresting Bucky for like not going to therapy or something, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Court ordered therapy.
It's
But
just,
it even, like, that scene even shines more light as to Falcon being so annoyed for only being known as Falcon. Like every time, I mean, it's already happened in 2 episodes. They always say, you know who this is? Do you know who I am? Blah, blah, blah. It's like, it always has to go back to him being Falcon. Like that's the only way he can get out of stuff. Like whenever they even said right there, do you know who this is? And he said Falcon. That's when the cops were like, oh, and you saw him like roll his eyes. And it's like, so I have to be a superhero, a black superhero, for you to, let me off the hook. It's just, and when, especially whenever the cops said to Bucky, is this guy bothering you? I mean, they were just, they were just talking. They were just having like, a heated conversation, but there was nothing going on. So I was like,
that one scene, and what kind of stood out too is when they were so hostile coming out of that car.
Yeah.
And
looking at
Sam. Yeah, exactly. They called back up, and they, he was reaching for his gun and everything. They say, oh, is there a problem here and this and that? And then they realized it was who Sam was, and then they went back to the car, and they realized too, Bucky had a warrant out for his arrest because he missed therapy.
Yeah.
But they didn't come out with the same intensity. They just came out, oh, sir, we have to take you in. You it's court ordered. You miss. I'm so sorry. And you just see the different treatment.
Yeah, treatment
from Sam to Bucky, and even though they arrested him, put the handcuffs on him so gently, kept saying, "I'm sorry. Let's go in the car." It showed some light, and I'm so glad they did not shy away from this, because they easily could have.
Yeah.
I mean, they easily could have shied away from all of this if they wanted to.
I'm hoping part of that like sentiment that they had towards Bucky was because he is kind of still like a big threat and they don't want to piss him off. You know what I mean? Like, I would be very like, not, I don't know. I wouldn't be like scared for my life, because obviously he fought in like the big wars and stuff, for the planet. But, I would not want to piss that guy off, like knowing his background, knowing what happened to him, I would like try the best to like calm him down and bring him. So hopefully it was something, a little bit of that, a little bit of, perceptions,
Yes.
Especially with the cops, going to run their IDs and seeing, man, this guy's in therapy and he's like crazy strong.
Yeah.
And he used to be under like mind control. Maybe we should just be calm with that.
I'm hoping it was something like that. Yeah. Like at least half of it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's go on back to the end, fellas, with the Zemo character. Rich, what's the chances of, percentage chances of Zemo escaping and doing his thing, or he just stays there and helps Sam and Bucky? What's the chances of
100% he's gonna escape, man. That's gonna make the story right there, is him coming back out. So
How about you, Jerry? You feel like he's 100% he's got to escape?
I mean, I kind of got the vibes that he's maybe not bad in the series, but I don't really remember the trailer. I don't remember if they like showed him being like a bad guy or anything. But I just like get the vibe that he's gonna help out. But I could be completely wrong. I didn't really feel like threatened like see him in there or anything like that.
Yeah.
You feel like he's gonna fuck with their minds a little bit too, though.
Yeah, I
Play
mean
a
that's
little mind trickery a little bit.
Yeah, that's kind of what he does.
Yeah, I mean, you guys brought it up in the first episode of Scoundrels. Whenever you said, I forgot if it was Vic or Dave. They said he was actually the first villain ever to be successful in his plan of breaking up
That was Vic,
the Avengers. Yeah. So I mean, this guy's crazy smart. I mean, who knows what his plans are? They could like portray him as a good guy, and then.
But at the same
very
time, like
end.
the world is changed, you know,
Yeah.
like everything is like different, and even like on the ground, like America is different, you know, like I could see this show, you know, changing his ideology
Yeah.
for the greater good, because this all started for, you know, revenge, like justice for his family and Sokovia or whatever, you know, so it all started like that for him. So he saw them as, you know, the way like Bruce saw Superman and Batman vs Superman, you know, like these powerful people that came to this place and they wrecked everything. They just like ruined it. They didn't care about the civilians.
Yeah.
I mean, was he like a super villain? I don't really think so. I just think his ideology was that like these people shouldn't be together. When they're together, they just like mess everything up. Like,
Yeah.
you know? So I could see him becoming like a good guy and kind of like falling in the theme of the show of like, you know, perceptions and therapy and you know, rehabilitation. It feels like the world in this show needs healing. You know, everybody in the show needs healing. That's from what I'm hearing. Yeah. Sense.
Jerry, Rich, you got any more to add? No more questions.
Good. I'm looking forward to where it's going though.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Where it's going.
Yeah, I was looking forward to the next episode. But yeah, I mean, it's like you said though. I mean, I completely forgot it's only 6 or 7 episodes. They really got to start like getting the ball rolling. I felt like this last episode they wasted too much time on the buddy cop stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I felt like a lot of that was unnecessary, but we'll see where it goes from here.
All right, gentlemen. Well, that's the segment of episode 2 of Falcon and Winter Soldier. Please, everybody, hit that like button, hit that thumbs up, and subscribe to the Scoundrels. That's all we have for Falcon and Winter Soldier. Fellas, thank you so much for joining me. I'm Dave. For Rich, Jared, and Vic, never have too much Scoundrels in your life.